What's going on, everyone? This is ODC. That's me. Sorry about that. I didn't forget my name. I just had to cough there. It was a weird moment. But I'm sitting at home. I finished watching Raw about, I don't know, about an hour and a half ago, something like that. I'm sitting here and I just wanted to let it marinate a little bit before I shoot my reaction to the the show itself. It was a lot of filler, mostly good match in the beginning with the New Day, I thought, and the the what's wrong with me? League of Nations. I thought it was a pretty good match. Besides the fact that Michael Cole was calling it, I can't stand that guy. He drives me nuts. He's just over the top, too much cheese whiz coming out of his mouth. I just can't deal with him. Um, uh, just pretty much the commentary. I mean, if I could mute it and still get the same feel of hearing the crowd and everything, if I could just mute them out, I would love to do that and just kind of listen to my own commentary in my own head. I would love to do that, but I digress. You know what? I got a straight. I don't know. Mixed feelings from the show. Wasn't necessarily a bad show, but it's not great. It's your typical Raw. You would think that, I mean, on the road to WrestleMania, you would think that they would have their best matches. Obviously, there were some setbacks with a lot of injuries, and now with Bray Wyatt, and it looked like what looked like a really bad ankle injury to Neville when he went sliding under Jericho. I'm not sure if anyone missed it, but when he went to slide underneath Jericho's legs, his ankle, I believe it was his left ankle, if you look at it, kind of gets caught up on the mat, and it gets kind of yanked back. It did not look good at all. You could definitely tell that it wasn't kayfabe. Like, that was real life. He was hurt. So now, you know what I mean? Like, people just keep getting hurt and hurt and hurt and hurt. It's like they keep trying to gain traction, you know, for their big show, and it seems like every chance they get to get traction, someone else gets hurt or something stupid happens. It's one thing. It's like the domino effect. It's like one thing after another. I thought it was a really great match. The match of the night was Dolph Ziggler and Triple H, hands down. And the fact that Triple H was even working with Dolph Ziggler was a bit of a surprise. Out of everyone out of the roster, you know what I mean, I would have thought that. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily think that it was kind of out of left field, but I wasn't expecting it. I'll just say that. It was a great match. It was really good. I thought both guys did a great job. Obviously, Ziggler, wasn't going to go over, and I was talking to my wife while we were watching it, and she's like, "So who do you think's going to win?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Triple H, easily." But if Dolph Ziggler does win, I was like, this was my prediction before the match started. I was like, the only way that Dolph Ziggler was going to win that match is if Roman Reigns did a run-in and he happened to roll him up or zigzag him from behind, blah, blah, blah. We could have done that kind of finish, but they didn't go that route, and which I thought was kind of a missed opportunity, especially with the whole promo before, Stephanie calling Ziggler a loser, this, that, and the other thing. Exchanging words is what I'm getting at. And her saying that, the only way you're going to get your WrestleMania moment is if you win this match tonight. So, I mean, I thought that there was a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel for Dolph Ziggler. Not really sure where they're going with that. If that's like some sort of subplot thing, or if Ziggler's going to turn heel, because they did offer him, guidance. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're going to turn Ziggler heel, and maybe this is a way for him to kind of rejuvenate, and maybe they're finally going to give him a push. You know what I mean? Like, there's two ways of looking at everything, I guess. And it would be cool if he joined the Authority and went that heel route, because I mean, he pretty much did that with Vicky before. he joined her, and she was running SmackDown. So there's two ways of looking at it. Either you think that they're, oh my God, Triple H just buried him again. And I'll be honest with you, for a second, I was like, you know what? He just got buried again. And then I was like, I let it sit, and I kind of let it marinate. And I just wanted to think it over in my head. And I was like, you know what? That was kind of the best thing that Triple H could have done for him, was have this fantastic match, which in front of a crowd that was pretty much dead at that point because of all the filler, all the bullshit, and all of the terrible promos that were going on at that point of the night. Like, they needed to have that match at that point, because if they didn't, and it was at the end of the night, the crowd would have been completely deflated, wouldn't have been into the match at all. And I'm glad they had the match that they did. I thought it was a fantastic match. It really went to show you what Ziggler can accomplish. And I know a lot of people have given up on him. A lot of people are, blaming the WWE for not pushing him, this, that, and the other thing. And I know he had concussion issues for a while, multiple concussions. So, and he's one of my favorite wrestlers right now. I'll be honest with you. I am a Dolph Ziggler fan. I got the figure right here from, it's actually a really good figure. You should check it out. But I am a Dolph Ziggler fan. I'm not a fanboy. I'm not a mark for him, but well, I guess I wouldn't say that, but I am a fan of his. So they're they're doing the best they can, I guess, with the character. I know there's been a lot of frustration. I think you can kind of tell with Dolph Ziggler there's been some frustration with him not being treated the way he wants, but it's ultimately, at the end of the day, not up to him. It's up to the company, which is unfortunate. But that's my little rant about that. I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to keep talking about Raw. I thought it was a great match. Like I said, there's two ways of looking at it. And moving on, I want to talk about what was it? The New Day. That was a really good match. I like that. I also like that they really, they're trying to do something with the New Day and the League of Nations, which I think is a good thing, especially with, I think, Wade Barrett's contract being up, and I keep hearing rumors, and they're just rumors, that he's gonna jump ship, he's gonna leave. So there's that, and Randy Orton sending out tweets that calling him a loser or whatever, this, that, and the other thing. But pardon me. I thought it was a good match, and I think even if Wade Barrett does leave, now you have three members. It's 3-on-3. Now you could have some six-man tag matches, which is really cool. And you could totally see that it's going to be League of Nations, and I think they actually announced it. It was going to be League of Nations versus the New Day for the tag team titles at WrestleMania. Pretty sure that's the route they're going. Hopefully, it's not a WrestleMania match. I know they've been kind of doing that with the last, 4 or 5 WrestleManias. They've been giving those filler or pre-WrestleMania matches. Hopefully they don't do that. I don't think they would, because the New Day's pretty well over. So that's my thoughts about the New Day and the League of Nations. I actually like all of the wrestlers in that feud. I actually, except for maybe Wade Barrett, I'm not. He's just kind of like, bleh. I'm just kind of there, and I don't care. But was it? And they actually keep trying to push Wade Barrett. I mean, they've made him multiple time Intercontinental Champion. Keeps getting hurt, and then they made him King of the Ring last year, and he's just not. He's not getting the reaction that I think that they expected. So maybe it might be best for both the company, or WWE and Wade Barrett, to part ways. But anyway, pretty happy with that. Moving on to, what was it? Kevin Owens versus, who did he face? What's wrong with me right now? I just watched this shit. The Kevin Owens match. Who the hell did he face? What's wrong with me right now? Drawing a blank. This is me drawing a blank. Sorry. No. Anyway, Kevin Owens match. I can't remember who the hell was in that match. What's wrong with me? I might have to look it up. But I thought it was good. Oh no, it wasn't Kevin Owens' match. It was Miz versus Sami Zayn. Must be dehydrated or something. Anyway, Sami Zayn versus The Miz. Yeah, it was what it needed to be. It was them trying to build their rivalry, and which was already a pretty storied rivalry from NXT. Them having, history in Ring of Honor and kind of, PWG. So I thought that was pretty good with where they're going, that direction. And hopefully it's for the Intercontinental Championship, which I think it pretty much is. Hopefully it's a ladder match, which would be, with those two guys, I think that would be a phenomenal match. It'll be a nice change of pace for WrestleMania, having, two gimmicks in there? 2 gimmick matches, which I think is the right amount for a WrestleMania. You got your Hell in the Cell, and then you have your ladder match. So I think that'll be good change of pace. Oh no, 3 gimmicks. You have the street fight match with Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose. But I think that'll be good. If it is a ladder match, I'm all aboard. I think those guys can really deliver. They have good chemistry. They know each other. They're really good friends. So I think that'll be a good match. The U.S. title match, that's probably going to be the worst match on the card. I don't think these two have ever worked together that I know of, Kalisto and Ryback. I don't like Ryback. He's boring to me. I call him Boreback. You know what I mean? Feed me Boar is what I don't feed me more, please. I don't want more Ryback. I don't care about him. The guy can't read lines. He's this monotone voice. I'm sure he's a great guy in real life. Or not real life. What am I talking about? I'm talking like a 12-year-old child here. I'm sure he's a great guy in reality. But I just don't care for his character. I just don't think he has it, and he's trying to be a main event guy, and I don't think he's ever going to be. But that's just me. That's my opinion. Whatever. I'm sure there's a lot of Ryback fans out there that enjoy him, but I just don't care for him. On top of that, he looks way too much like Goldberg right now. It's crazy. Yeah, so that's probably going to be the worst match, I would assume, on the card. Yeah, I just don't see it as being good. If anything, that should maybe start off with a tag team title match to get the crowd going. Then move on with, kind of just get rid of it. You know what I mean? Let's move on with the U.S. title match next and just get that out of the way because no one's going to care about it. Then move on to the Intercontinental Championship match, which would, in my eyes, should be a ladder match. That would pick the crowd back up and kind of, now you have your pacing for WrestleMania because this card is really going to be, it's got WrestleMania 11 card status to it right now, just looking at it. And WrestleMania 9 too, that was a very bad blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I digress. What else was I going to say? Oh, I have a couple predictions too. This is actually, I'm shooting this video March 14th. I'm actually going to upload it March 15th. So if you're interested in my WrestleMania predictions, I know the card isn't 100% right now, but as far as what is official, there's one match in particular that I have a prediction of, and I'm not trying to say I'm the most intelligent person by predicting this, but if it does happen, I'll be really happy with myself. But that's the Shane McMahon versus Undertaker Hell in the Cell match, and I know I'm talking with my hands a lot, so I'll try to stop doing that. But I think this is going to be your typical Vince McMahon run-in, high drama match. I think this is going to be, you know what I mean, like your typical Vince McMahon match without having a whole lot of Vince maybe in it. I'm sure he'll be ringside. I don't think Stephanie and Triple H will be involved in this rivalry because I think they're going to be too involved with the Roman Reigns storyline. So I don't think that they'll be having any sort of run-in. I think what'll happen is, as far as pacing goes, I don't know. Yeah, it's tough because you got to have the World Heavyweight Championship as the main event. That is the main event. So in my eyes, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match should always be the main event. In my eyes, I don't care about Taker. It always should be the title match. But that's not to say that there hasn't been better matches that aren't the main event. So, anyway, I don't want to get too off kilter here. Talking about Shane and The Undertaker, I think this is going to be Run-In City, and I don't think it's going to be who you think it is. It's not going to be Triple H, not going to be Roman Reigns. I don't think it's going to be anyone on the roster. Now, when I say that technically on the roster, because these guys are supposed to make their debut the day after. Now, it said in a dirt sheet, actually on Reddit, it says that Finn Balor and the Balor Club are supposed to make their Raw debut the next night after WrestleMania 32. Now, these are just rumors. Like I said, nothing set in stone, so don't crucify me. But this is what I've read. So, that's what I've seen. Just letting you know. My prediction is that especially with what Vince said, a specific thing that Vince said tonight in his promo before The Undertaker came out was what Shane's intentions are if he does win. He basically said that he wants to bring in new talent, something different. He wants to bring the WWE back to what it was, its legacy, its original. He wants to bring back the greatness of what WWE is basically what he said. I'm just generalizing. But he also said he wants to bring in new talent. Now, technically, Finn Balor and the Balor Club aren't on the roster. They're on NXT. And the rest of the Balor Club hasn't made their appearance yet. So, with that being said, and the way Finn Balor's alter ego, the Demon, I really think that Finn Balor and the Balor Club will interfere in that Hell in a Cell match and cost The Undertaker that match. And Shane McMahon will be the second person to have beaten The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Because at this point, after, you know what I mean, and a lot of people would probably be like, no, that's stupid. Why The Undertaker wouldn't lose again? But when you think about it, at this point, after he's already lost to Brock Lesnar, does it matter anymore? There's no streak. The streak is dead because of Brock Lesnar. So, I don't think it really matters if The Undertaker loses again. And on top of that, it's not really... this whole story isn't really surrounded around The Undertaker. So, it's surrounded around Vince and Shane and Stephanie, basically. So, with that being said, my prediction is that Finn Balor and the Balor Club will make their debut. Their WrestleMania debut. Not their official debut. Well, their official debut and their WrestleMania debut on the night of WrestleMania by interfering in that, costing The Undertaker the match, and Shane goes over. Shane takes over Raw. Now, this is just... I mean, this could go a ton of different ways. This could just be Shane coming back to help WrestleMania out, get some people to watch it, because they're supposed to they're trying to fill this stadium that seats 100,000 people. That's a lot of people, and you don't want to have 100,000 people booing you. So you want to have people that you're trying to draw. So you got to have certain people that will draw. Now, I don't think that for 1 second that Shane McMahon is the big draw of this pay-per-view, trust me. But you also have to have some sort of surprise in here. This year we have no money in the bank. It's not like we're going to have a Seth Rollins running in and beating Roman Reigns. For all intents and purposes, Roman Reigns is going over this year, whether you like it or not. Roman Reigns is going to be the next WWE World Heavyweight Champion. That's just the way it is, okay? Triple H is not going over, so just let that go out of your mind. Roman Reigns is going to be the guy, whether you like it or not. Anyway, back to Taker, and so that's what I think about Taker and Shane. I think it's going to be a run-in fest, high drama. You know, I think at the end, what's going to happen is something's going to happen to Vince. He'll get chokeslammed by the Undertaker, or something like that. Because basically tonight, there was a lot of heated words between Shane and the Undertaker. He basically called the Undertaker his puppet, his bitch, Shane's bit, or Vince McMahon's bitch. So, I don't know. I'm excited to see that match now because of what I think it might happen. I'm not going to necessarily say that match is going to be predictable, but I do have my feelings about it. And it could go the entirely different direction. It could go that Shane loses and it was just all just a silly little storyline that had no back to it. You know what I mean? No backbone to it is what I'm trying to say. So it could go that route as well. And for God's sake, I mean, I hope it goes the route that I do, because I feel like a lot of fans, like myself, would like to see it go that way. But if it doesn't, it doesn't, and that would be typical WWE if it didn't. But, take a risk. You know what I mean? Take a risk, WWE. Do something different. I have no idea what they're going to do with Dolph Ziggler. And I don't mean to just keep going back to him, but I have no idea what they're going to do with his character. I have no clue. I don't even know if they're going to do the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. There's been no inkling of that. Usually they do something around this time. They do. Sorry, I said that backwards. Usually around this time they do something with the Big Show, and I haven't seen the Big Show in a while. I don't know if he's hurt or what's going on. I have to catch up on some reading, but I don't want to go on forever with this kind of just chit chat about what I think will happen and Raw reaction, this, that, and the other thing. But I really do enjoy doing these wrestling talks, and I know they haven't been getting a lot of views because I know the majority of my viewers are comic book fans and are not. You guys aren't into wrestling that much, but I know I have a couple wrestling fans that do enjoy these videos. So I'm going to continue to do them, and I really do enjoy talking about this stuff because this is something that I'm passionate about. That I've been watching this stuff since I was 4. I've been passionate about it since I was 4 years old, and I'm 32, going on 33. I'll be 33 in a month. So, it's been a long time watching this stuff and seeing it, how it evolves, and just, I really do think in my heart that from watching NXT and how enjoyable NXT is, and just the talent that they have. I mean, they have tons and tons and tons of talent, and with some guys, you know what I mean, it seems like they're running out of time for a push. Hopefully they push guys like Tyler Breeze, because I know how talented that guy is. I've seen him play. I've seen him work in the ring, and I do enjoy him. I enjoy how unique he is and how unique he looks. Almost kind of got like a Shawn Michaels meets a Rick the Model Martel thing going. So I can appreciate that. Shawn Michaels is my favorite of all time, so I can appreciate that. And I'm just looking forward to some good wrestling. I miss really, looking forward to, not that I don't look forward to Raw, but Raw's just not what it was. I mean, it's a shell of what it used to be. So hopefully we get that back, and hopefully, maybe I'm wrong, but hopefully that storyline with Shane actually kicks off, and maybe we get a brand split again. And I think at this point, a brand split would be the best thing for the WWE. And I know a lot of people didn't like the brand split. Like, oh, it waters it down, and then you got, then you always have this SmackDown versus Raw stuff. As long as they don't do the SmackDown versus Raw stuff, which was terrible, just don't do that. Just focus on two different rosters. I mean, you have three, actually, I should say. You have your NXT, you have your SmackDown, and then you have Raw. You want your main guys on Raw like they always did with the brand split. Then you got your second tier guys on SmackDown. Then you have your developmental in NXT. I mean, you have it made. You have it going the right direction if you go that route. And I think that's what they should do. I think that maybe the direction they might go. I don't know. Yet again, another prediction. But hopefully that is the route that they go, because now you can split up your talent. You're not force-feeding everyone the same talent on both shows. And this also kind of, absence makes the heart grow fonder. I mean, when you don't see your certain wrestlers on SmackDown, then you yearn for them more on Raw. It makes you want to watch the show a little bit more. But I digress. I don't want to keep going on rambling too long. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this this video. I'd like to do some more. I think I might do a full card of predictions before the night before WrestleMania. Another little tidbit that I did hear about that I did want to add in. I know this is kind of random out of place, but they actually are going to continue with the Roadblock pay-per-views. I actually enjoyed it. It seemed like almost like a live event, the way it was presented. It seemed like a live event, and I really did enjoy it. I thought the matches, except for that Brock Lesnar match, that was terrible. But apparently Bray Wyatt has a back injury. That's why he didn't really wrestle in that. I was kind of confused of why. I was like, what was the point of even having that? They should have just had, 3 members of the Wyatt family versus Brock Lesnar, and he just obliterates them. But it was actually, I thought it was a pretty solid pay-per-view overall. I thought Dean Ambrose and Triple H had a great show. I loved the bullshit ending with his feet under the ropes. I liked that. I actually enjoyed that. I was like, oh, okay. Now that's old school wrestling right there. That's something that we have not seen a lot of lately. That's pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool, actually. But I didn't have a problem with the way it finished, and I thought overall it was pretty solid. I liked the NXT matches. Well, I should say match. The tag team title match. I thought that was a good match. I thought it was pretty smart of them to kind of give a little bit of an influx of NXT in that pay-per-view. But I digress from that. Maybe I could do a separate video on how I felt about that and going through the card. But for now, I'm going to stop. It's been almost 30 minutes. I've been chatting, and I don't want to bore you guys anymore. So I'll let you guys go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.